Hello everyone, welcome back to a new play Xin Zhao every day on Wild Rift until Zaahen is released. So, today we have a Gnar on the top lane, a Veigar in the mid lane, Misfortune and Nami. We're up against a Kayn in the jungle, there is a Sion on the enemy team, and a scaling Aurelion Soul. So, I will say honestly we have a very decent team comp. While the enemy does have a Senna that can kind of scale, and a Vayne that can kill tanks. There's not really a lot of very tanky bruisers on our team, apart from me and Mega Gnar. So we actually have everything. I honestly think that we have a great team comp. We have a scaling mid laner that can scale alongside Aurelion Soul. So their lane is probably very much equal with no kill pressure on either side. Like Aurelion Soul will be stuck using a stationary skill against a Veigar who would probably just cage him inside to go away if needed. Our Nami accidentally got first blood, I think, compared to Misfortune. If Misfortune had gotten the first blood, I think it would have been a lot more gold, where she could get her power spike a lot more early. A lot earlier. Either way, it's a decent matchup for very good for Gnar, actually, because Gnar can just completely zone out the Sion. In fact, as mini Gnar, he actually would dominate the lane even better. If you notice, I actually mess up my jungle clear quite a bit. I used one more ability than I should on the Gromp, which delayed my kill on the Wolves, which resulted in my slower clear of the Raptors, and then I missed the W ability on the Raptors when I tried to double camp at the red buff. I do apologize for my voice, by the way. However, just looking at the wave state downstairs and the HP bars, it seems Gnar is not performing too well against the Sion, which is a bit of a surprise. Maybe he doesn't really know how to manage the lanes. So there's not really a lot of kill pressure downstairs. There is now with Sion using his ultimate and losing all his mana, but he's still very tanky, and I'm not sure I was able to kill him, so I had to use my flash. And Gnar got overzealous and just dived in trying to get the kill. Instead, he got into under tower and got feared and just died. So the situation became equalized downstairs. In fact, it's more on Sion's side, since he has teleport and also he is able to just get the wave. So Gnar is actually losing 200 gold already, which is not supposed to happen because Gnar has very good percentage health damage. This does 300 damage per proc. The Sion will have to kite really well, but by doing so he would miss out on a lot of minions, which means he should be winning in terms of gold, the Gnar. So not a great situation. The Misfortune is pushing the lane up to the Vayne, so it's a little difficult to dive a Vayne. She has the wall stun ability, and then Senna also has a root, so if they combo it well, they might be able to get me under tower and just get me killed, so it's really difficult to dive them. Misfortune uses a disengage ult, and I try my best to save the Nami. Couldn't manage, but I managed to save the Misfortune immediately after. The Veigar matched the roam of the Aurelion Soul, and we managed to pick up another kill. Here, I tagged the Aurelion Soul just to deter him from pushing in. He doesn't actually have any mana left, so he probably can't stay. I just hover around to make sure the teammates are able to get the wave before I try to look for an invade. So we know that the red buff and the Krugs are not up, so I immediately go for the Raptors, which are up, and that will put the enemy Kayn behind. He's not really a threat to me too much. He can be, but he's more of a threat to my very squishy team comp. Misfortune, Nami, Mini Gnar, and Veigar are all very vulnerable to an assassin like Kayn. So it's still very good to set him behind and, you know, make the smite fights a lot easier. Sion once again uses his ult, and here I was trying to just simply go to my Raptor. I wanted to hover and show so that my Veigar can stack a little bit more easily. I'm not too sure if that's actually the best decision looking back, but either way, I did what I did, and you know what? Please do tell me if that is a good thing to do. Is it better for me to just hide from the enemy so that they don't know my pathing and they don't know my jungle clear? Or would it be better for me to help the Veigar just by showing up a little bit? So here I decided, hey, Sion is actually pretty pushed up and pretty low HP. Could be another farm. Use my ultimate instantly just to knock him back, and then it should be a pretty standard finish here. He's chasing after me, and then there's not really a way for him to catch either, so his passive is just kind of wasted there. Gnar once again gets a free wave to farm. Hopefully he'll be getting back into the game, because he is very core to this lineup. Without him, no one will be able to stop the Sion split push. With him, he's able to stop the Sion split push, get Mega Gnar, and then come help to team fights. So he is actually quite intrinsic to our team right now. Veigar, Misfortune, and I can't really kill a very, very healthy Sion, because Sion, as long as he farms, he's going to be a menace. He's going to be a juggernaut. So now I'm looking up to try to help the duo lane, and I was going to catch the Senna that got caught off guard, but then she actually fell back enough. And since I'm here, I decided, okay, I'll do the Infernal Dragon, since it's Infernal Dragon, and Infernal Soul can be very, very good. I'm trying my best to pull the dragon out, but my teammates are being idiots and just standing in there where there's an enemy ward. So I managed to get the dragon and also get the cane, so that's very good news, and I'll be able to head toward the Rift Herald immediately. However, most of my teammates are actually very, very low HP, including the Veigar, who should be able to help me the most. Gnar is finally winning against the Sion, but if you look at the tower, somehow Sion has already gotten the tower down all the way to like 1 plating worth of HP. And that's very, very bad, especially when you're Gnar. You're supposed to be able to bully him completely out of lane. Gnar is only weak against bruisers that are mobile or has movement abilities. Sion has neither. You shouldn't be losing at all to a Sion. So that's really, really rough. He just lost Mega, and immediately the Kayn decided that he's going to assault the Gnar, and he managed to pick them both up by stunning them on a tower of some sort. But I'm still unable to get the first turret, and Aurelion Soul is starting to become quite stacked, and I can't really just tank the damage and just go for the tower instead. So first turret was not secured in this kerfuffle, which is honestly really rough, because it's very likely that Sion will get the first tower now. If I were to do this again, maybe I should have put the Rift Herald somewhere else and to just secure the first turret instead of trying to force the mid turret. So I think that's kind of my bad. And now I'm just going back to my jungle clear. Sundered Sky is going to be very, very important, because the enemy team also has 4 squishies. If I'm able to just eliminate one of them, it's going to be a huge advantage for us. And unfortunately, Kayn is actually picking off our duo lane right now, using his Assassin's Power to great use. So we lost. We're almost losing in terms of our gold. I'm the only one that's kind of fed in our team, and my teammates are not exactly scaling too well. Like, Gnar was supposed to be an intrinsic part of the team, and he's kind of struggling. He's bringing Demolish, which is definitely a good rune to bring, personally, I think, because it's a great... Like, Gnar is just... He doesn't really need any other runes to help. He can get the attack speed rune, which will help him a lot. Otherwise, he just needs to... Yeah, he just needs to auto-attack. Otherwise, cut down or whatsoever, it doesn't really matter, since he's going to be using his passive anyway. It's just extra damage, but having that resolve tree for some extra survivability, I think it's always great. Here I targeted the Sion, which probably is a mistake. I probably should have gotten the Senna first. In fact, the Sion was actually killing me. I'm very surprised that the Sion was able to kill me so quickly with his Sunfire Cape and Thorn Mail. I guess I wasn't healing enough. But also, once again, I'm making the same mistake over and over again, where I did not base to buy items. That is why I lost. The Sion was half an item stronger than me, and that is where I lost. If I had Sundered Sky, maybe I could have reset it on the Senna, or just get my HP back in the initial battle. So, huge misplay on my part for not buying the items and just going back for it. And now I'm deciding between Stair's Gate and Sundered Sky. But ultimately, I feel like Sunder Sky is honestly far better than Stair's Gauge. Stair Gauge gives you a bit of AD. I think it's 75, maybe? No, 60. 65 for Xin Zhao, because his like base attack damage at max health, max level is like 125. So it's not a lot. I mean, it is quite a bit, honestly. It's like a few items worth, and the lifeline shield can be useful. But compared to Sundered Sky, which gives you like an immediate advantage to burst down enemies, I think it's just a lot better. Especially with the healing, if you are in a team fight and you're able to juggle the targeting system really well, you can get a lot of your health back throughout the battle. And here we're slowly getting bullied out, which is very unfortunate, because I really want to threaten the second dragon, right? And I'm getting no support from my team. My Nami is like basing in the middle of the lane. My Misfortune had to base from low HP. And here I'm trying my best to just delete the Senna first, since she is quite a bit of an issue. And with Senna dead, we have a man advantage. But then Gnar got picked off by the Kayn on the other side of the map, which is fine. That means the jungler was distracted. Gnar actually did his job through split pushing and just distracted the enemy jungler. And now we have 2 dragons and threatening soul on the next one. I'm trying to go for a flank against the Aurelion Soul. And this is completely my bad. I did not realize that the Nami has disengaged and my whole team was actually dead. So me kind of going in there, I'm just running into 1v3. That was just a complete misplay on my part because I didn't look at the minimap. So a huge misplay on my part. No blame for my teammates there. Just my fault completely. But as you can see, Sion is becoming a huge problem, and Gnar doesn't seem to be responding to it. And because Sion is becoming such a huge problem, I'm opting to buy Mortal Reminder. And with my death of my huge misplay, the enemy team actually got the Baron Asher, which is completely my fault. No matter how well I'm playing, that decision there to just flank without looking at the minimap or knowing that my teammates are dead resulted in all of this. So huge misplay on my part, all my fault. I'm so sorry. Anyway, we will now have to defend against the Baron Asher push, and honestly, turret situation is not good on our side. And Gnar is not matching Sion at all. Sion is being actually a huge team champion right now for his team. Like, we can't kill him, all 3 of us, no matter how hard we try. It's, in fact, Misfortune might actually just die from this, yeah. And now everyone is just playing. The enemy team just has a way better synergy than us, while Gnar is just still split pushing top. He's not like retreating. The enemy team has Baron Asher. They're pushing us to our inhibitor, and he's still chasing after us Senna, and honestly, he's just way too slow. Right now, we are losing all of our turrets, and I'm trying to ult to try to save my teammates, and I couldn't get it in time. And we lost inhibitor, and I'm getting threatened. I'm literally getting run down in my Nexus. And Gnar is only coming back now, and he has Mega. So he won't have Mega for this current fight when it comes to defending. So it is horrible right now because Gnar has to be the one that's matching the Sion split push. And I have to tell him that, like, boy. Yeah, I'm gonna tell him that right now because he is our win condition. He has to be the one that kills Sion. He's the only one that has percentage health damage. So I need to tell him that. Yeah, that's extremely slow typing from my part. Anyway, so the one saving grace for us is that we still have the ability to get Soul, which would be a great threat. And here, the Vayne just completely dove us, and I can't find her, which is very annoying. And Gnar is currently in Mega Form, so he can't really deal with Sion. And Sion's anti-heal is actually making me struggle a lot. And now all of us is just slowly getting picked off because Kayn is like a very mobile assassin, and my teammates are not playing together. As you can see, Gnar is barely building up his rage right now. I'm trying my best to survive, and with the Crescent Guard, I'm able to defend against the Aurelion Soul range attacks, but I was just using it to clear the waves. Still, we have to do like a traditional front to back almost. So Gnar has to deal with the Sion while I stay behind to defend my teammates. I have to stay behind to make sure that the Kayn doesn't immediately assassinate our team, which is very, very difficult to do because he can just go untargetable. But if my teammates actually play around me and the Nami does enough healing, it shouldn't be a problem. But what the most important piece right now is that Gnar has to defeat the Scion, because without Scion, then we will have a lot of say in the matter. And here I'm trying to catch the Senna out. Once again, successfully able to do so, and then I believe everyone else is kind of chasing after me now, and I have to make it like a great escape. And I decided, okay, I need to get some health back, and I decided to get the Gromp first. But unfortunately, the enemy team just has way too much burst, and basically Xin Zhao has completely fallen off, and I won't be able to get the dragon. The reason we can't do that is just that we lost too many towers. We have no vision, we have no control of our own jungle. The only map control we have left right now is really our own Nexus, which is absolutely dog shit. And our Mega Gnar is now rushing over to fight the Scion, which I'm starting to believe that this Gnar does not know his kit, because you probably don't want to fight the Scion when you are Mega. Gnar is like fucking pinging the other people, but honestly, he's not playing well at all. And here I'm trying to clear the minion waves, but look at that damage from Aurelion, so I can't even get close to him. So here I should dive in and just use my ultimate to stun the minions to give us a saving grace, and that's actually exactly what I'm gonna do. Okay, yeah, so decently well played there for me, able to push the minions back out and force the enemies back away from our Nexus. I bought Gore Drinker this round simply because I'm kind of behind, and having more HP or like having more combat mobility and wave clear would be very, very good against this Scion split push. Here I'm trying to just get my final item, whether it be Guardian Angel or Amaranth's Twin Guard. I think Amaranth's Twin Guard would be the play here, honestly. Gives me a lot more in combat sustain. However, my teammates are all kind of just dying once again. Nami gets caught, and our teammate are all falling near our Nexus, and I'm forced to just run back immediately. Miss Fortune does a great disengage ult and is able to deter at least some of the minion wave. And here I'm trying to dive in to kill the Scion first, so that the threat to our backline is non-existent. But Gnar is once again very low HP again, and I'm left alone as the sole front line. With Battle Seal completely stacked up, I was looking for an angle, but Kayn was able to get me down very low. We trigger her Guardian Angel, but then he can just get revived and continue fighting. So yeah, once again he gets another kill, and he was able to get a kill before he completely dies. I'm catching the Senna off once again, and Vayne used his ability to knock me away very early. And Gnar is chasing down them down, which is a good idea for this current fight, because if we can kill them, we can immediately go for Baron Nashor. And yeah, so instead we was able to push them back. So immediately the Baron call was correct. So I decided to go for it. And unfortunately, however, Miss Fortune is the one defending against the split push, while Gnar is here. This is just a shit macro play, honestly. Look at Scion. Scion is going to be pushing our inhibitor, and no one's going to be there to stop him, because the only one that can kill him, Gnar, is with me. The Vayne does her best to try to kill me, and I try my best to kill her as well. Without anti-heal, I'm actually struggling in this fight a lot. And we got Baron Nashor. I died. This Nami died, which is not very, very good. But yeah, the Scion is becoming a huge problem, and our Gnar has no response to it. He bought Hullbreaker first item, and now he's very squishy against the Scion. Like, he won't be able to win against the Scion in an extended trade when he's Mega. So I understand why he's moving away right now. But honestly, that was his only job. The only job he had was to stop the Scion, and he has not been doing so at all. Miss Fortune, however, she seems very keen on trying to keep fighting the Scion, because she's the one defending this lane for some reason. And look at her, she's just getting run down by the Scion. She can't do anything. And I can't blame her for it, because no one else is defending. And finally, Gnar comes here. Look at that damage, holy shit, he just did a huge chunk of damage against the Scion. with him, he's able to just slaughter him extremely quickly, and he doesn't do that for the entire match. Gnar gets an amazing ultimate, however the enemy team does have Elder Dragon, so it's very difficult to fight against them right now. Gnar tried his best to walk the Kayn into lane, into our base, which he did not manage to do so. However, his Guardian Angel was already triggered and on his cooldown, so I managed to pick him off. So we actually got 4 kills, while we only lost our ADC. I'm trying my best to push the lane out right now, because we do have a bit of Baron Nashor left. I did expect the Vayne to be close, so I was not completely caught off guard by this one. I'm able to get a lot of my health back from the Gromp, and managed to get the attack the Wind Becomes Lightning against her and just catch her off guard. Now it's up to us to push mid lane and try to end the game, which is impossible because the enemy is already respawning. With Aurelion Sol's wave clear, it's very unlikely that we'll be able to. With anti-heal and Mortal Reminder in my inventory ready, this can turn into our favor as long as Gnar is willing to stop the Scion. It's a very tough job. As someone that has been in Baron lane, I know the struggle. And here I'm forced to use my ultimate early just to defend against Aurelion Sol. And yeah, none of those were hitting me, luckily. And Misfortune does a great save right there, shot the honey fruit right at my feet, so I got all the healing. So Misfortune is honestly just saving my ass there. And now we are more equal in terms of tower. We're still losing 1 outer turret. Our inhibitor has spawned, so at least there's no more super minions to worry about for a little bit. But it's not going to last long, since there is always the Scion that will be around. Here I'm just clearing a little bit of vision, because we need to get ready for the Baron Nashor again. So it's good to see that Gnar is starting to inch towards the Scion. Everyone is actually doing so. Here I'm trying to farm my jungle, not because I don't really need the item anymore. So I'm trying to like drag it to my teammates, but they don't care, so I just decided I'll fucking take it. And Gnar is now going to farm the mid lane instead of stopping the Scion. And now he's running into the enemy team champ. So it's really rough to play with this team. There's no everyone's kind of like an amalgamation of just grouping around, which I understand if Veigar, Misfortune, and Nami are grouped together, because they have to be very worried about the enemy Kayn. However, once again, I don't know why it's Gnar and I doing the Baron Nashor when it should be Misfortune and I. I just get completely shut down. There's nothing I can do anymore. And then I just have to tell the Gnar, please defend against the Scion. Because no one else can kill him. Look at us. Look at all those damage from all our damage is completely useless against a Scion. No one else can stop him. It's literally only Gnar that can stop him. And Misfortune does a great ultimate to disengage. And unfortunately, I believe this is the end, because the Baron Nashor is just way too strong at this point. I'm just so frustrated with this Gnar, because he's supposed to be winning lane and he's not. And then he's not stopping any of the pushes from the Scion, and we just get run down in our Nexus. So another very low quality game. Like we had a winning team comp, honestly, and then we just all threw it away. I made a few misplays, and yeah, very frustrating game, but I still got Galio's Aegis, even though I made like a huge mistake. So yeah, Galio's Aegis is just dog shit, honestly. Huge mistake that lost us the game, and this Gnar is just not rotating correctly. He bought like the split pushing item, but he never once used it to his full advantage. So yeah, a very unfortunate game, and it's not great. Overall, just a doo-doo game, but I hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah, I will see what I can do on the ADC videos. I did see someone request like, hey, can I do that as well? So hopefully I'll see you again very soon. Bye.